Ladies and gentlemen, the Chicago Bulls front office has started to talk once again, and it's starting to talk about the future of the Chicago Bulls, and more specifically, they've been talking about Coby White and what they perceive Coby White's future to be within the Chicago Bulls. And if you read the article and you read what people have to say, you might be concerned about some of our players' future, but I'm here to tell you that everything's going to be just fine. I'm going to give you my reasons why in this video. Let's do it. What's up, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. Today we've got a Chicago Bulls video in relation to Coby White and his perceived future according to the Chicago Bulls management, and what that could potentially lead to some of our players, some of our best players that could definitely be including Zach Lavine. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below, what do you think Coby White's future role with the Chicago Bulls will be? And do you think that other players on the Chicago Bulls team is in trouble? More specifically, we're going to be targeting Zach Lavine, but I think everything will be just fine, and I will get to that towards the end of the video. Without further ado, I want to discuss what people have been saying Coby White's role with the Chicago Bulls will be. So ultimately, the big thing that's going on here is that the Chicago Bulls front office management team sees Coby White as a scoring guard and could potentially still play a point guard position for the Chicago Bulls, but ultimately see him probably move over to the shooting guard position. Now, that's a big thing coming out of our front office, because that could potentially mean that the future of our shooting guard position may well fall to Coby White, which means that Zach Lavine could end up falling out of favor for the Chicago Bulls. Now, there's a big thing here. There's a big thing that makes me feel like everything's going to be just fine. The key here is that the Chicago Bulls are unknown about Coby White's position next season, which very well means that Coby White this season or next season, depending on what you want to say, next season obviously will be December or January, next season will be a big discussion for Coby White in terms of what his position is going to be. So yes, the front office might believe that Coby White is definitely a scoring guard, but I think everybody knew that Coby White was a scoring guard. But scoring guards does not necessarily mean that he plays at the shooting guard position. I know that's what people like to entail and say that, yeah, if he's a scoring guard, he probably should be going to the shooting guard position. And that's more than fair to think that. But I do think this season, Zach Lavine is the key to this season right now that we have on our hands. There is no way, in my opinion, unless you're going for a big blockbuster trade, that Zach Lavine goes anywhere for the Chicago Bulls. It just won't happen. I don't see how it can happen. It makes sense that the Chicago Bulls might go and pursue a point guard that can play in a playmaking position, or maybe we can go after a very talented Denny that could play in a playmaking position from the 3 spot. I'm not saying any of those things are out of the realm of possibility, but what I am saying is that Coby White being a scoring guard literally, in my opinion, personally, makes no difference to the plans that the Chicago Bulls team has to offer. Maybe in 2 years or 3 years down the line, Zach Lavine could be a potential trade piece for the Chicago Bulls. But I'm focused on this season. I'm focused on the season that's ahead of us. And the season ahead of us, I see Zach Lavine and Coby White leading the line for the Chicago Bulls. Maybe not all of them, maybe not both of them are true point guards that make on a regular basis, but again, those are things that can be worked on. Zach Lavine, in my opinion, is a decent passer of the ball for a shooting guard, but mainly his thing is scoring, and it's the same with Coby White. Now, Coby White has been working on his playmaking. Zach Lavine has come out and said he's been working on his playmaking, so I don't see this being a big thing at all. I really do not believe that this is going to be a big key area that it's one or the other, which many people are leading it out to be. It's either Zach or it's going to be Coby White. Which one is it going to be? Because I think the answer is pretty simple if that's the question. It's probably going to be Coby White. He has he holds very big potential with the Chicago Bulls. He's a fan favorite, but ultimately this is not what's going to happen. This is not a one or the other scenario, at least not this season it isn't. Maybe when we know more information about how both will play together, we can make up our own judgments based on next season. When they have a full year playing, when maybe they have a full year starting together, we can slowly decipher what this team needs and what this team doesn't. This news about Coby White wanting to be is seen as a scoring guard makes no difference, because Zach Lavine is also a scoring guard. They play two different positions at the moment. Coby White all season last season played the point guard position and did it well. Yes, his playmaking might not be up to par as so many of the other guards in the league. Hell, you could say that a lot of point guards in the league should be shooting guards. I mean, to give you an example, is D'Angelo Russell a point guard or a shooting guard? Because I think D'Angelo Russell is the score-first point guard. I think a lot of the teams that you're looking at right now is a score-first point guard. Literally every single team in the NBA, I mean, look at the best point guards in the world. Stephen Curry, score-first point guard. Even Derrick Rose is a score-first point guard. Damian Lillard is a score-first point guard. It's not out of the realms of possibility that Coby White can do exactly the same as those types of players and become a score-first point guard. That might not be the position where we want him to be long-term, but it's a position that he can definitely grow into, he can adapt to, and he can definitely play, because we've seen it. We've seen Zach Lavine and Coby White play together. We've seen that there's big potential there. Zach Lavine should not be going anywhere this season. I admit that. Even though there's trade rumors about Zach Lavine all over the place at the moment, Zach Lavine, in my opinion, and I'm going to keep on saying it, whether you guys want to come at me for having propaganda or not, Zach Lavine should not be going anywhere. It's as simple as that. Unless it's a blockbuster trade, unless you're going after Bradley Beal, unless you're going after a Ben Simmons or anything like that, there's just no way in my mind that Zach Lavine should be leaving this season. I just don't think it happens. I think every single player under this team needs a fair opportunity to play under new management, to play under Billy Donovan, to see what we could get out of these players and to see what their true value is. Because Jim Boylan and Fred Hoiberg were not the greatest coaches in the world. They just were not the greatest coaches. So Larry Markkinen was good in his first 2 seasons, but maybe under a good coach, he could be better than those 2 seasons. Zach Lavine could be better with a new coach. Coby White could definitely be better with a new coach. I mean, imagine how good he was in his first year with the Chicago Bulls, playing under Jim Boylan. Imagine what he could be like with Billy Donovan on coaching him, making him better, talking about player development. This is a big thing here. I think every single player on this team deserves a chance to prove themselves, unless it's already foregone conclusion that they shouldn't be here, like a Felicio, in my opinion. Maybe he does need another chance, but I think a lot of people already know that we don't want Felicio here. The best players on our team: Coby, Zach, Lowry, Wendell, even Daniel Gafford, maybe even Satoransky, who knows? Players like this, in my opinion, probably deserve another chance with this front office. Not everybody can get that second chance, but I think the best of the best on our team, the potential on our team, should definitely be given another chance on this franchise. So Coby White, he's gonna be playing point guard. He might even play some shooting guard throughout this season, but I don't think that's going to be at the expense of Zach Lavine. I don't think it's going to be at the expense of Zach Lavine, at least not now. In 2 years down the line, maybe 3 years down the line, we could talk about it. Because Zach Lavine, the contract will get less and less, and then maybe we have some dilemma on our hands with Zach Lavine. But in saying that, this season, the only season I'm focused about, the season coming up, I fully expect to see Zach Lavine on this team. I fully expect to see Coby White playing a point guard on this team. I fully expect us to draft Denny. Again, there's been more talk about Denny being available at the 4th pick, and the Bulls wanting to take that. And I want to talk about that in another video. But that is something that is definitely on the Bulls' radar. We could be going after a point guard at free agency. We could be going after a point guard in the draft. But Denny's still available, and the Bulls are still very interested in him. And we also, look, we have so much diversity in this team. We do have so much diversity in this team. So I think the point of this video is that there was big news that Coby White is seen as a scoring guard, but who isn't a scoring guard in today's NBA that is a good player? It's like it makes sense to move him to shooting guard. I 100% agree. It probably does make sense to move him to a shooting guard position, but at the moment, at the expense of Zach Lavine, I know Coby White will hold the more power over Zach Lavine because of his future potential. But this season, the season I'm focused on, the season I want my eyes towards, I see Zach Lavine here. It's as simple as that. I'm going to try and leave this video here. What do you guys think about that? Do you think Coby White will be a shooting guard in this league next season? Do you think Coby White will be that player that will take Zach Lavine's spot in the long haul? Or do you see them, at least for this season, playing together? And let's wait and see what happens. Because that's the boat that I'm on. I don't want to make any rash decisions. I don't want to trade big for a risk that Coby White could potentially still be a point guard. And a good one at that. So my answer for this is it the end of Zach Lavine? Hell no, it's not the end of Zach Lavine. It's not the end of Coby White either at the point guard position. The Bulls might see him as one thing, but that doesn't mean he can't be another. And that can't mean he can't grow into another. The best players in this league, the absolute best players in this league can play multiple positions. Look at LeBron James. Played point guard all of last season against the Lakers. I'm not comparing Coby White to LeBron James in terms of like there's clearly something there, but literally LeBron James is one of the best players in the world, and the reason why is because he can play the point guard position. He can play the small forward position. Ben Simmons can play the point guard position. He can also play a forward position. James Harden, we never thought James Harden could be a point guard in this league until he played that position for 1 year and he averaged 10 assists. The fact is, the best players can play in multiple positions. If we're looking at Coby White as a potential to become one of our best players and can and does have that potential, then in my opinion, he needs to play in multiple positions. That is shooting guard, that is point guard. He's a combo guard. That's just my perception of this situation. Again, Casey Johnson said, I'm pretty sure he said that, yeah, we see him as a scoring guard, and that could mean that it could be the end of Zach Lavine. Look, I don't see that happening. I see if the best players want to play for this team, they can play in multiple positions and still thrive. Coby White is one of those players that we believe has that potential to thrive. So I think he can play at the point guard position just fine. And we wait and see. But again, it doesn't disclose the rumors that the Chicago Bulls are looking for another point guard. Because the fact is we have a bunch of point guards and we're still looking for more. So maybe that is a situation where the Bulls want to play Coby and Zach Lavine as shooting guard together. Or maybe that means that we have about 7 point guards or so, and it's time we get rid of some of them. I mean, Chris Dunn is a restricted free agent. Who says we're keeping him on board? Satoransky, a lot of people don't rate Satoransky. People want him gone. Shaq Harrison doesn't even play. Like, I know he's on the team, but he doesn't play. Ryan Arcidiacono, I think people really overrate Ryan Arcidiacono, but I like him. But I think he's definitely overrated in terms of what the Bulls think that he truly is. So I don't know. I really don't know. But if you're asking me right now, and I'm going to repeat myself because this is a big story that has come out. It's big news, but I do want to come out and say that Zach and Coby, the one that the meme that keeps on living, the two potential players that could work very, very well together, in my opinion, will be playing with each other this season, and we're going to see exactly what the Chicago Bulls have in store, and we can make our judgments based on them. But I think if anybody's saying that it's the end of Zach Lavine at the moment, I just can't agree with you. But anyway, this is going to be the end of the video. This was big news, and there is more talking points. In another video, I want to talk about Denny once again, because Denny is obviously a fan favorite for this Bulls franchise. People love Denny. People have mixed opinions on Denny, but the Chicago Bulls seem to be very interested in this player once again. Just like we are with a point guard, we are very interested in Denny as well. So I want to talk about that in another potentially future Chicago Bulls video. That's probably going to be the next thing on my mind as we keep on going on this Bulls franchise, as we keep on making videos, as the trades and the rumors keep on coming. There's going to be more videos coming from me and from your favorite content creators for the Chicago Bulls, man. Keep your eyes out, because there's a bunch of discussions to talk about. Doesn't have to be just me, man. There's so many people that are making Bulls videos these days, because it's where it's at, man. It's where it's at. We are one of the most talked about franchises at the moment in the NBA, and it feels good to know that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on. What do you think about Coby White being seen as a scoring guard? Do you think Zach Lavine, his future is limited with the Chicago Bulls? Ultimately, I know people are going to have mixed opinions. People are going to attack me for this video as well, just like the Michael Porter Jr. one. That's fine. I'm a big boy. I can take it. But all I want to know is your opinion, and let's see where we can go from there. Have a wonderful day. Take care, and peace.